Hello everyone, my name is Jana Rojas and today we're going to talk about porn addiction with minors. Recently, my coworker told me a little story about a situation that she happened to face with her 11-year-old son's friend. He had came over and had asked her if she could help him remove some data from his tablet, which she did. But as she was going through the history to delete it, she saw that there was four porn site websites. When she clicked on them, she was pretty surprised of the things that she saw, that they were very disturbing, that she didn't even tell me what they were. When she went ahead and asked her son's friend, how was he able to see, how did he know about these sites? He had said, oh, everyone at school had, some people were talking about it and I wanted to know what it was, so I looked them up. So today, according to American College of Pediatricians, last assessed February 24, 2023, stated that in 2008, the internet and marketing firm Hitwise reported that globally 40,634 websites are distributed of pornography, and also that 31% of adolescent boys have admitted to seeing these websites. So today we're going to look at the effects of porn addiction, that's minor porn addiction has on minors. We will look at the problem, the effects, and a solution. So the problem. We have a serious problem with minors and porn addiction. CNN Health did an interview with Alexander Rods, the founder of the community-based porn recovery websites NoFap, stated that on September 28, 2019, that if you have access to the internet, pretty much, regardless of your status, he states that 95% of males ages 8 to 14 are most vulnerable to become addicted. CNN also reported that young teens are stumbling across porn. On January 10, 2023, they published that accessing pornography has become easier to do and easier to hide. That teens, previous generations, including pornography websites, social media, and other outlets, have reported that smartphones may also be easier for children to share pornography materials. And even with their peers, they look at things, and so it's pretty much like a domino effect. One says it, one shows it, and so forth. That by the time they're 17s, they pretty much have already come across all these websites. So now that we discussed how discuss the problem with porn addiction, let's talk about its effects. So there are three significant effects: relationships, psychological effects, and the lifestyle habits. So UNICEF for every child wrote an article on protection of children from the harmful impacts of pornography, last assessed February 26, 2023, stated that pornographic content can harm children. Exposure to pornography at a young age may lead to poor mental health, sexism, and objectification, sexual violence, and other negatives outcomes. Among other risks, when children view these porn sites, even portray abuse. Alison Baxter wrote an article on how pornography harms children. The Advocate wrote on May 1st, 2001, that researchers show that media has a tremendous capacity to teach. Excessive media use particularly where the content is violent, gender stereotype, and sexual explicit skews children's worldview, increases high risk of behaviors, and alters their capacity for successful and sustained human relationships. Mr. Baxter also mentioned that pornography is arguably more sexist and hostile towards women than other sexual images in the media. The aggression and violence towards women found in much of today's popular pornography can teach boys and young men how how to treat women. Pornography also portrays people in sexual relationships that do not accurately reflect how real people should act or interact with each other. And this pretty much creates an unrealistic view on how to be within a relationship, and pretty much teaches boys an unhealthy view of a relationship. So now that we discussed porn addiction effects on minors, let's discuss its solution. So there is a clear solution in pass there's a clear solution. It's passing a law that would hold web providers accountable for porn access on minors. So Adam Candub wrote an article on what Congress can do to restrict children to access pornography on December 9th, 2021. Wrote that the time is now to act and give parents the power to restrict access to pornography for their children. The Supreme Court has recognized on multiple occasions that the government has compelling government interest to protect the physical and psychological well-being of minors, which includes shielding them from incident content that may not necessarily be considered obscene by adult standards. This report outlines three legislative approaches that the federal government can talk to limit access to pornography. One is a verification law that requires such an interactive computer service to adopt age verification measures with clear metrics and process to independently verify that the user of Convert platform is not a minor. Two, amend the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. This prohibits internet platforms from collecting personal identifying information about children, but it only protects children under 13. And since the definition of a minor is 13 of age. However, this is something that can be amended to change in the future. Last law that could pass is the filter law. It can block access to content on the internet harmful to children. States could pass laws requiring computer and smartphone companies to pre-install filters on all devices they sell that access the internet. This is what the state of Utah has already done. Utah has passed a law aimed at making mobile devices automatically filter pornography. The law requires mobile devices to automatically enable a filter capable of blocking materials that is harmful to minors. So today we talked about we learned it's today we learned why it's imperative we look at the problem, effects, and solutions. Remember that according to American College Pediatrics last assessed on February 24, 2023, stated that the internet and marketing from Hitwise has 40,634 websites of pornography, and that 31 of adolescent boys admitted to seeing these sites. My coworker learned that it sounds like the child was curious about something he had heard from his peers talking about and decided to explore it because it's so easy to access a computer or a phone and just look things up. It's important for parents to really talk to their kids about what is appropriate and what is inappropriate online, and to monitor their activity. It's also important for parents to have an open dialogue within their child, and to really explain what is digital activity and what are their concerns they may have. And it's also important to explain the consequences of viewing inappropriate content, and to let them know that it's not an acceptable behavior. Additionally, it is important to ensure that their devices have appropriate parental control in place. So I would like to thank everybody for taking the time to listening to my speech. Have a good day.